Okay, YoungHotelier.com is delighted to be joined here today with Marguerite Howley from the Castlemurray House Hotel in St John's Point in County Donegal. Thank you for taking the time to join us, Marguerite.
No bother.
Can you tell me, I suppose, at the moment what role it is that you're holding there in Castlemurray?
Hotel proprietor, stroke manager.
Very good, okay.
Yeah.
Will you walk me through the steps, I suppose, since you've left school as to how you've arrived to this position here today?
Well, my first training period, before I went to college to do chefing, first training period actually started off in Castlemurray House, working for the French couple that used to own it.
Okay.
Never thinking that someday I'd end up actually owning it myself. And I did a summer before I went to college just to see is this actually what I wanted to get into. And I loved it because it was a really busy kitchen, great buzz, great food, like amazing food at the time. And I thought, yeah, this is for me.
Okay.
Long hours, but good crack, going out, your social life was good fun. And then I went to college in Killybegs, which was basically 10 minutes from where I live, which was great.
How long was that for?
2 years. At the time, and still is probably one of the best catering colleges in Ireland. It was hard to get into, you had to have some good background of work and somewhere, good.
Specifically culinary based, those 2 years, Marguerite?
Culinary based, everything,
Okay.
yeah. But they also do hospitality sector there
right.
as well, yeah, and now they've gone into a lot more than that as well. And then my first training period was back at Castlemurray for the first summer, and then the second year you go on 2 placements, so I ended up going to Limerick for 9 months to a hotel called the Rain Arms, very good hotel. Bigger hotel, did a lot of bigger functions, something that never appealed to me really, but I got the experience and end up in charge of pastry section on my own, which was very good, I suppose, for
a
second
training
year.
Course, yeah.
Yeah. And then back to college, and when I went back to Castlemurray for for weekends and stuff. Left college and I went to London then to work. Worked at a few different places. Agency work wasn't really for me, like there was no. And then ended up working actually for Gordon Ramsay for a few months, which was an amazing experience.
What was
hardest
the name
work,
of the restaurant?
L'Aubergine.
Okay.
Was the hardest basically work I ever did in my life, and
good learning experience.
brilliant, yeah. You just learn that consistency, good product to start with is but was slave labor, to be honest, really.
Right.
Yeah, but it was a good experience, but like you just couldn't stick it,
Okay.
Do
I think a lot of people would join a team like that just to get the experience.
Definitely, yeah, definitely, yeah. It's a good experience, but at the time I was hoping actually to move on, maybe to go and work in Australia or America or somewhere like that, but the fact was my dad bought a business in Killybegs, and it was a bar with a restaurant, bedrooms, pretty run down, but had potential, so I decided to come home and give it a go.
Right.
So started the bar, got that experience behind my belt, which I never did before, really enjoyed that. Found it hard to get back into the kitchen, not having the crack, with customers and stuff.
Yeah.
Opened the restaurant. A bit of a struggle to start with because it was a level of food that Killybegs hadn't seen, apart from Castlemurray, which would have been our competition.
Right.
Kind of at the time. Only the Castlemurray would have had location on the side because of the scenery and the sea, where we were in the town, a small town, above a bar.
And I know Castlemurray is a beautiful fish restaurant.
Yeah.
This other restaurant, was that?
Well, I emphasised on fish as well.
Okay.
Definitely, yeah, because we were in Killybegs and you had to. But it took a few months to get it up and going, and people started to hear it was good, and we were probably kicking Castlemurray's ass at the time, ever so slightly.
Good.
Which is good, you think.
Well, given it was the best restaurant obviously in the area, it's nice to be sort of surpassing that.
Yeah, and we actually got a few awards that Castlemurray would never have got,
Okay.
And it was good.
How long did you spend there?
5 years.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah, 5 years of hard grafting because I was head chef, owner, manager, the whole lot, So it was tough going.
And how many people did you have in your team at that stage?
There was supposed to be 4 bar staff, 4 kitchen, 4 dining room, and probably 2 for the bedrooms at the time.
Wow.
So it was a busy enough operation as well.
Excellent. What kind of covers did you turn over?
40 maximum 50. It was small, you know, and I was a bit of a stroppy head chef. So when I said that's all we're doing on a night when I had that was it, you know, I ruled the roost. There was nobody to come and say, well, you need to turn over another 10 tables to make another percentage. Like, I just, you know, because the standard of the food was so good, everything was cooked from scratch to order.
Okay.
You know, it was very
It's
specific.
important to draw that line, obviously.
And I was like going, well, it's not going to be a factory, you know.
Good.
So I drew the line at that. We just opened for dinner. Because the lunch trade in Killybegs had to be fast, and I didn't want to really be doing.
Do you think that's something you acquired, I suppose, from your experience with
Probably,
Gordon Ramsay in London, start to finish?
Yeah, consistency and do it right, and you know, fresh ingredients and cooked to order, and you know,
Good, okay.
yeah. And then all our fish was brought in fresh, so we had a lot of preparation throughout the day to get it ready for service, you know. So you know,
Okay.
and I suppose I had a good enough team, but I suppose they were all under my wing, so it was tough going.
It's quite tight.
Yeah, so then come our last year in Killybegs, Castlemurray was on the market for about a year and a half. And we were still friends with the owners, like they were good friends of my father more so, but I knew them well because they were good to me when I worked there. And they kept saying, why don't you buy it? Think about buying it. And I kept thinking, no way, not Castlemurray. Couldn't do
Our
it.
main competitor.
Yeah, it's such a good name.
Okay.
Such a busy hotel, do you know, and I just thought, I just didn't think I was ready for it. It was like I was being 25 at the time. And I thought, this is a big undertaking, but thought about it for a few months. There was no panic because it was kind of on the market for a while, and thought, right, give it a go. And it's probably the best thing I've ever done, because actually Killybegs slipped a little bit with the fishing industry, kind of got very slow.
Okay.
And it was a good move to make, a really good move. I'm delighted like we did it. But I can see myself there for ever, I think, until I come to Dubai, and like I want to move to Dubai. So yeah, I can probably see myself there for
Couple of
long
years,
enough
yeah,
anyway.
okay.
Yeah, I think so, unless there's some